I am ready for the reads this month. No, not this month. This season. Hey guys, it's Ashley, and today let's talk about all of the upcoming releases for fall and winter. I realized while making this video, or while researching books that are coming out for this video, because as y'all might know, I don't keep up with the new releases as much as I probably should nowadays. I realized that most people consider winter to be January and February, so 99% of the books that I was getting when I was Googling were coming from January and February of 2021. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I wanted. So I did my best with what I could find. Also, some of the books that I thought were coming out in October, November, December are actually not, or have been pushed back even further, which makes me sad, but I did find some that I'm very excited for. But first, I'm here to let you know that this video today is being sponsored by Karma. I've worked with Karma before. You guys might recognize them if you've watched my video, but I absolutely love them. So Karma is an app and Google Chrome extension that ensures you never miss a price drop or a coupon code on any of the items you're looking at buying. Just as a heads up, I will have a link in the description down below, so make sure you head there after the video to download Karma and get a chance to see for yourself what it's like. I recently used Karma to get a great price on a pre-order copy of Auroras End by Jade Legacy and Amy Kaufman. I'm so excited for this book. If you guys didn't watch my September wrap-up, you wouldn't know, but I'm currently reading Aurora Burning, and it is so good. It's pulling me out of this slump that I'm in. So I'm really excited to get to this one, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later. But thanks to Karma, I was able to save a couple dollars on a book that's not even out yet, which I love. So let me tell you guys how it works. On your computer, all you have to do is download the Google Chrome extension from the Chrome store. Once it's in there, you can visit any of your favorite stores and start shopping. And Karma will send you notifications via email or mobile push when an item you've saved goes on sale, comes back in stock, or has a relevant coupon. Something that especially helps when it comes to pre-orders and books that haven't been released yet is Karma's list feature. Essentially, you can go onto your preferred book shopping website and save any sort of pre-orders or books to specific lists that you can make and organize in Karma. And then Karma can alert you if that book drops in price before its release date so that you can ensure you get the best price before it's even out. And then that way, when it is out, it'll show up right at your door. Right there, and you didn't have to do any work to get it. Karma will also scan the web for coupon codes and then apply them at checkout automatically, but this is a special feature if you use Karma on your computer, so the Chrome extension is a must. And in addition, you can actually earn Karma Cash when you shop with select retail partners. So you guys can head to the description box down below and click my link to download Karma's free Google Chrome extension and see what I'm talking about. And thank you once again to Karma for sponsoring this video. On to my most anticipated releases. So I will admit, a couple of these have already released, but within the last week of me filming this video. So it's not too late to make this video and add them to this list. So there's still technically a fall release in my mind, so they're going on it. But anyway, to get started with my most anticipated releases, the first up on this list is one that I've already mentioned, and that's gonna be Aurora's End by Jade Legacy and Amy Kaufman. This one actually doesn't come out until November 9th, which I'm sad about because I thought it came out October 16th for some odd reason. I don't know why I had 10/16 in my head, but that's what I had in my head when I thought about this book, and that's not what it is. So it's all right. Just wait another month. If you're not already aware, Aurora Ends is the third and final book in the Aurora Cycle trilogy, and Aurora Rising, it's too many Auroras, it's a tongue twister. Why am I like this? Aurora Rising is the first book. If you're unfamiliar, the story is kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque story where you've got a sort of ragtag group of space legionnaires is what they're called, and they basically find out that the end of the world is near and they're the only ones who can stop it. The story's extremely funny. It's got lots of great action and adventure. It's really fast-paced. There's even romance in it that I am here for, and also each of the characters has an individual voice that's very unique to them and very stand out, and I really love that about this story. I mentioned this in my September wrap-up, but when it comes to a multi-POV story, you really need to have a specific voice for these characters so you know when you're bouncing between who and who and who. Even though there's a name at the beginning of the chapter that tells you, you don't really feel like you're immersed in that character's point of view until, you're feeling all of their mannerisms and all of their little quirks and comments come out. So that's something that I love about this story. I really love just finding everything about it funny, and I love it so much. And I know the cover for Aurora Ends is honestly kind of scary, but this character is Finian and he's one of the best characters in the whole book, and if you don't believe me, go read it and find out for yourself. As of when I'm filming this, I haven't actually made it to the end of Aurora Burning yet, but I can tell you, oh my God, plot twists. So the next book that I am like insanely beyond excited for, you guys, is A Psalm of Storms and Silence, I think, by Roseanne A. Brown. I always get the title of this one messed up, so sorry if I messed it up again. This one doesn't come out until 11/2, November 2nd. Sad about that as well. All of these books, all these great books coming out in November, like what is with this month, you guys? If you're unaware, this is the sequel to A Song of Wreaths and Ruin, which was Roseanne A. Brown's debut fantasy story last year or the year before. I don't actually remember. This is like a West African inspired high fantasy story following two characters, again multi-POV, I love me some multi-perspective. Follow a princess and a boy. I don't remember how to describe him. But essentially the story is kind of like a enemies to lovers-esque competition in a way story where they're basically trying to kill the other person, but neither of them knows that the other person is their like intended target, if that makes sense. Like they're both going after something and they both know they need to kill the person who's doing this, but neither one of them knows that the person who's doing that thing is actually the other. The world building is really, really great. The magic system is interesting, and I'm really excited to get into more about the magic system in book 2, because at the end of the first book there was like something big that happened with the magic, so I'm really excited for that. God, and just the way that the first book ended, like the cliffhanger that it left off on, I've been waiting for this book for so long. I think the sequel was supposed to come out either in July or August or something, and it kept getting pushed back, and I was like, why? Why? I want it now. Next up, another very highly anticipated story. The first 3 of these books actually that I've mentioned so far are like my holy trinity of upcoming releases, so just putting that out there. The next book that I want to talk about is Psytonic by Brandon Sanderson. This story doesn't come out until, again, November 23rd this time. What is with November? And this is the 3rd book in the Skyward series. I'm actually not sure how many books this is supposed to be and whether this is the final one or whether there's supposed to be more, so I'm just gonna call it a series for now. So Skyward is another sci-fi story. We follow this character named Spensa who has always wanted to be like a pilot or something. To be honest, the details are a little fuzzy because it's been a while since I read the book, but she wants to kind of like follow in her father's footsteps, but her father was like an embarrassment to the colony that they're living in or something like that, and so she's kind of been like living in his shadow but like wanting to step out of it and wanting to be like the best pilot ever or something. But then there's like, you know, so many twists and turns that you're like, wait, was her father really an embarrassment? Did he really, you know, was he really a traitor to everybody or was he not? So it's like, you know, lots of conspiracies and stuff like that. Something that I really liked about this story as compared to Aurora Rising as like a sci-fi story, Skyward started out very like grounded in a specific area, and as the books continue, the scope just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So at first we started out with a planet, now we're, you know, venturing off into other worlds and universes and things, and I just find that so interesting and so exciting. And again, just like with A Song of Wreaths and Ruin, the second book left off on such a major cliffhanger. Like the biggest cliffhanger I think I've read since I read The Mark of Athena, I swear to you. I was just like, are you kidding me? That's how it ends? Like, okay. Specific example. Do you remember in The Fault in Our Stars when Hazel was obsessed with that one book by that Dutch guy, and the fact that it ended in the middle of a sentence? Like the end of the book, it was like the sentence cut off and like there was no end. There was no like satisfying ending. That's how I felt about the end of, what is it called? Starsight? Starsight, book 2 in the Skyward series. It made me so mad. And then on top of that, I finished it and I remembered how long it takes Brandon Sanderson to write books because he's in the middle of so many different things at once and all of his books are so complex, and I'm just like, how long will I have to wait exactly? The answer is about a month. Next up, let's talk about some of the books that have recently already come out as of when this video is going up that I'm really excited for. The first of which is Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. This actually already came out on September 28th, but when I first saw it and first read about it, I was like, ooh, this sounds interesting. To be totally honest, I don't know a lot about this story. but I did read a bit of the synopsis and it just sounded really intriguing to me, so it's on this list. Also recently, my mom, this is weirdly related, my mom saw the author on Good Morning America, and so it got me looking up this book, trying to see what it was about, just for funsies, and I'm actually really interested in it. The story is a high fantasy story, it's Pan-African inspired, and it follows two teenagers who venture into this magical forest to try to hunt down this creature, but one of the things that struck me was that I'm pretty sure the characters are kind of like morally ambiguous, like you're not really sure if they're entirely good or entirely bad, or you know, they're kind of morally gray in that sort of middle area. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that there was something like that in this story, which is kind of what drew me in initially. It gives me a little bit of like Song of Wraiths and Ruin vibes in a way, which like obviously I'm here for. So next up I want to talk about Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, which actually just came out again on 9/21. So this one was a little bit farther away. I shouldn't be adding it to this list because it's not really an upcoming release, but I did not realize that it was coming out. I actually didn't realize that it was a thing. I think I saw it on like an Instagram post or something and just kind of like was like, oh, cool, and then just kind of like kept scrolling past it. But then I was in Barnes & Noble with my sister the other day and I saw it on a table and I was like, what? What? So it's on this list. As far as I can tell based on what I've read so far, it's about this guy named Wallace who basically, the Grim Reaper shows up to collect him at his own funeral and he realizes that he's dead. So he ends up being taken to this tea shop to meet this man named Hugo, who is like the collector of souls, or like helps souls cross over or something. I think that that's so cute, by the way. And he kind of realizes the life that he missed living with Hugo, I think. It's something like that, right? That's what I read. Yeah, with Hugo's help, he finally starts to learn all about the things that he missed in life. When the manager, a curious and powerful being, arrives at the tea shop and gives Wallace 1 week to cross over, Wallace sets about living a lifetime in 7 days. It says that it's... Wait, where did I read this? Wait, what? This was originally published in July? Did I miss something? Okay, Google is telling me that it was originally published July 13th, 2021. And Amazon and Barnes & Noble are telling me that it was originally published on 9/21. No, he's an American author, so it wouldn't be like UK publication date versus US. I don't know what the answer is here, so if this was actually published in the middle of the summer, I'm sorry, but I haven't talked about it yet, so we're talking about it now. I loved The House in the Cerulean Sea. Absolutely adored it, as you guys know if you've been here this year. So I'm here for this book. Oh, I was gonna look at the books that they compared it to. This really drew me in, by the way. This says, A Man Called Ove Meets the Good Place. And like, have I read or watched either of those things? No. But do I know the feelings that they evoke and therefore know exactly how this book is going to feel? 100%. And I am here for it through all of the tears that will most definitely be coming. Okay, last two books on this list. The first one is one that I feel like I've technically already read, actually, surprisingly, but I'm gonna add it here anyway, and that is Heartstopper Volume 4 by Alice Oseman. This technically doesn't come out on paperback until 12/7, December 7th, but the reason why I said that I think I've already read it is because I do follow Alice Oseman and the Heartstopper comic on Webtoon, and so she ends up posting the comics there first before they end up getting published and bound together in like an actual physical copy. So I think that I've already read what will be the content of this, unless she hasn't finished the comic online and the rest of it is going to be in this bind up. I don't 100% know how this is working, but I've read at least part of this and it's really, really good. And you guys know, if you've been here, how much of a sucker I am for the Heartstopper comics. If you don't know the Heartstopper comics, they're like graphic novels, technically, I guess you could call them. They're the most adorable things in the world. It's basically about these two boys who meet in high school, or whatever the equivalent of high school is in England or in Britain. I know you guys have like 10th form and stuff like that, so I don't know the difference, but high school, we're gonna say. Two boys meet in high school, they fall in love. It's the most adorable thing, and they have this awesome friend group, and they go through trials and tribulations and ups and downs, and it's just life. But it's beautiful and adorable and I love it. So yeah, volume 4 comes out in December. I'm pretty sure I have volume 1, 2, and 3. Yes, I do. I forgot that I bought volume 3, but I do have volumes 1, 2, and 3. I love rereading them sometimes when I'm like down or, you know, want something to pick me up. They're great. And so the last book that I have on this list is not one that I'm technically anticipating. It's kind of complicated. Do you ever like see a book that's coming out and think that it sounds cool and then realize that it's like the third or fourth book in a series and then want to then read that series? That's kind of what this one is. So the book that I'm talking about is Jade Legacy by Fonda Lee, which comes out on November 30th. But technically I'm more so wanting to read Jade City, I think it is, because that's the first book and I haven't read any of it yet. I don't even have the book, to be honest with you. Like, the book has been out for years, the first one, and I don't even have it. I'm pretty sure this is the third one. And I don't know what it was, but hearing people talk about Jade Legacy and like reading about people's rave reviews of the series back when I was trying to look up books for this list and like, you know, get up to date with things and stuff, it just made me really excited to read the series as a whole. The only things that I know about it is that it's an urban fantasy adult fantasy series, I believe, and it follows multiple different characters. I'm pretty sure that like the magic system is tied to Jade in some way. People can use Jade to like draw power or something like that. I could be totally wrong, but I thought that's what I heard. Which, if that's the case, it sounds great, so I'm in. But yeah, that's all that one was. It was just kind of like a, hey, the third book in that series is coming out. I kind of want to read it now. So yeah, you guys, that is my short little list for, you know, fall and winter releases, end of the year releases. I will have another video going up that's called like my end of year TBR, which honestly might include a couple of these books, so be prepared for that. But yeah, like I said in the beginning of this video, I honestly have not been keeping up to date with book release schedules and things like that. To be totally honest, it's hard to find like a one-stop shop for that kind of thing. You just kind of have to like bounce around to different places, especially if you're looking for specific genres and not just like your typical literary fiction kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway though, if you guys have a book that's coming out between now and the end of the year that you're just really looking forward to, drop it in the comments down below. I'd love to learn about more upcoming releases, see if I missed anything that's on my radar. And before we go once and for all, I just want to give another huge thank you to Karma for sponsoring today's video. Remember to head to the description down below and click my link, you guys, so you can download Karma's free Google Chrome extension and see for yourself what it's all about. But other than all of that, I think that's gonna be it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye!